Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Sam. So before getting into today's topic, I just wanted to talk about my Facebook page. So this is my Facebook page, The Cloud Guy. I use it as a platform to share all my updates related to new video releases, all the info on my cloud knowledge. So if you haven't visited this page already, I would request you to visit this and like this page for getting regular updates. Let's go back to the topic. So as I was saying, today we'll be covering IAM. So what is this IAM? IAM stands for Identity Access Management, and it's a module in AWS which will help us to control users and their different levels of access on AWS or AWS resources. So this feature of AWS, it is very important topic, be that for the exam plus be that for the administration, AWS administration. So let's see what it is all about. IAM gives you the following features: shared access to your AWS account. What I mean by that, you can create a bunch of users and provide them with AWS console access. You can share the access, and then we have something known as granular permission. So it is possible that you can provide granular level permissions. Say for example, you want to create a user named user A with full control over EC2 instance. You can do it, and then you can go on and create user B who has access to database instances in AWS. He'll not have access to EC2 instances. Yes, you can do it by using this feature, granular permission, which is part of AWS IAM. Then we have something known as secure access to AWS resources for applications that run on Amazon EC2. It is possible by using IAM features. Then we have something known as identity federation. So identity federation, it's an interesting topic. You might be working in a company, or you might be having different sort of accounts or profiles with maybe Facebook, LinkedIn and so on, or any other active directory services. You can incorporate the same set of credentials with AWS. And how it is possible? By using this identity federation, you can actually federate those existing active directory or credentials from your corporate or from any third party services and incorporate it with AWS. And then we have something known as identity information for assurance. So what I mean by that is, there is a service in AWS, CloudTrail. We have seen it in our previous introduction videos. So using CloudTrail, the users who are accessing AWS resources, it gets logged into CloudTrail service. So by exploring or going into CloudTrail, you get to see who accessed what service, what resources at what point of time. So even IAM has that facility. And PCI DSS compliance, IAM is having that feature. What I mean by that is, you might be familiar with credit card payment systems. So if you have such an application, and if you want to host it in AWS, yes, you can do it. And PCI DSS compliance will help you to store and process your credit card related items in a secure manner. And then we have something called as integration with many AWS services. Yes, you can integrate IAM feature with other AWS resources such as EC2, Elastic Load Balancer, and so on. And then the another feature is eventually consistent. So eventual consistency is nothing but the moment you make any change to IAM, it gets stored in what do you call AWS system, but it takes some time to reflect. The reason is quite simple. The changes you make on what do you call IAM, it is stored in multiple regions and it takes some time. But again, think about the positive side of it. Since it is stored in multiple locations, it is fail proof. And you can there might be a very slight delay, but I think you can live with it. And then the important feature, this is free to use. You don't have to pay a single penny to use AWS IAM service. So what are the things which we'll be covering in the upcoming lab session? We will be talking about user. So user, that is the person or resource who will be using AWS resources or AWS platform. And yes, you can provision n number of users in AWS and provide them with a certain level of access. Say for example, you can provision a user A, and give him complete control over AWS console. You can provision another user B, and provide him with just EC2 access. So that is possible by using this users feature in IAM. Then we have something called as group. So group, it's a collection of users who has a common permission or a common purpose. Say for example, you want to group people who has access to EC2 instance. Yes, you can do it. And people who are having admin rights to S3 buckets, you can group them under a single group and name it as S3 admins. And this is achieved by using groups. Then we have something called as role. So role, don't confuse it with the permissions and all. This is specifically designed for AWS resources. Roles are created and assigned to AWS resources. Say for example, if you want to create a new role and provide it with S3 admin access, you can do it, but it should be only assigned to AWS resources. It can be, and for example, it can be assigned to EC2. And then we have something called as MFA. MFA stands for multi-factor authentication, and it's a added layer of security feature on top of your conventional username password paradigm. So instead of just using the plain username and password, you can add one more layer, the multi-factor authentication layer, and it'll ask for what do you call RSA tokens or Google Authenticator keys, etc. So that is possible, and by using MFA, it becomes one of the strongest or safest place. And Amazon does recommend or they encourage the use of MFA. Then coming back, I think I've missed this, permissions or policies. So permissions or policies, policy, it defines one or more permissions. And how do you define a policy? By using policy document. So policy documents are a feature in AWS cloud, and policy documents are nothing but documents made up of JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. And this is this language is heavily dependent upon key value pair model. You can define things in attribute and value or key value pair model, and you can create your own custom policy documents or use the existing ones in AWS. And then the final one, password rotation policies. So password rotation policy, Amazon does provide this feature wherein you can manage the passwords, and you can define the policies on the password rotation. Say for example, if you want to prompt all the users on your AWS instance to change the password within every 15 days, yeah, you can define it. And those things will be covered under password rotation policy. And the next video, we are planning to do a lab session on IAM. We'll be covering all the individual items which we have discussed just now. And feel free to raise any concerns or questions if you have any. Do subscribe to the channel and give us a thumbs up or like if you really love this video. Thanks a lot for watching the video, guys. I'll see you in the next one.